choice of Giulio Turcato is part of a larger curatorial plan that is greatly followed by Isabella del Frate Rayburn. Our goal is to present with this series of exhibits the greatest artists of the 20th century in Italy. So this is part of a long journey that we have undertaken many years ago, and that includes the likes of Burri, Fontana, Accardi, Sanfilippo, Mirko, and a variety of other artists.
Da 25 anni che sponsorizzo l'arte italiana negli Stati Uniti, cercando di portare il pubblico americano a conoscenza di tanti artisti italiani che non erano per niente conosciuti. Turcato è uno di questi artisti che è già venuto negli Stati Uniti negli anni 60 ed era molto amico di Scarpitta e poi anche di altri artisti americani, e dopodiché è ritornato nel 78, ha fatto una mostra all'Istituto Italiano di Cultura, però dopodiché non era più tornato e la sua arte negli Stati Uniti non è per niente conosciuta.
I'm Martina Caruso and I edited the catalogue for this exhibition. It's been published by De Luca Editore, who's based in Rome, and they've done a really excellent job, and we've been working on it since March, and I wrote a text, and my father did too, because he has a lot of memories with Turcato. He grew up with him practically, and he wrote a very poignant piece in the catalogue about that.
Turcato also was chosen because he had a connection with New York. So every time we bring in an Italian artist, we also try to bring in the connection that these artists had with New York. That is not a neutral city, it's a city that was of fundamental importance for 20th century art. And for the people of his generation, New York and the United States represented really a sort of freedom of expression that sometimes they had a problem finding in Italy for a variety of ideological and political reasons.
Penso che questa mostra sia un inizio per poter portare all'attenzione del pubblico americano questo grande artista italiano che anche in Italia in un certo senso è un pochino sottovalutato.
I actually teach art history in London, but I am also involved in the archive, in the Giulio Turcato archives in Rome, because, well, partly because it's a family thing. He was my uncle, and it's the first exhibition of Turcatos in New York since 1978, so it's been a while. It feels really nice to be here and surrounded by all of his paintings in such a homely, in such a beautiful house as well.
I think that bringing him back here and being surrounded by this explosion of colors and shapes gives an idea of this enthusiasm in this discovery of new art forms, and the freedom to use all the colors and all the shapes and not follow a specific path of communication.
Dall'archivio Turcato vengono. E quando ho dovuto scegliere questi quadri è stato veramente difficile poter fare una scelta perché hanno uno più bello dell'altro. Secondo il mio gusto posso dire che mi piace moltissimo questo dell'uva col sole, che trovo molto bello.
This piece here, it's a piece that stimulates my eye, but also gives me vibrations all over my body, reverberates with me, and it's, of course, it's a moon surface, and it's more or less at the time when the first man landed on the moon, and it was this idea of the craters and these discoveries, and at the same time it's presented with this beautiful bright color that still vibrates as if it were done yesterday. Well, we hope that the American public will recognize in some of these paintings elements that are also traceable in contemporary American artists. The dialogue between the two sides of the Atlantic was very, very lively in the 60s and 70s, and even with a small exhibit like this, a small but precious exhibit like this, we contribute to recreate a dialogue between the artists on the two sides of the Atlantic.